Let's begin with 3 ohms. Please take a deep breath. Namaste, Suprabhatam, Namo Namaha, wherever you are. So last week we saw sutras on abhyasa, on practice, and what it means, right? So we will do a quick review of all the sutras. Is Kranti here?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, very good. Then why don't we chant until Sutra 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Everyone, please close your eyes and fully take in the chanting of Kranti. The very beautiful chanting. Please fully take it in. Go ahead, Kranti.
Yeah. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणं सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिं श्रीमते अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः। अथ समाधिपादः अथ योगानुशासनम् योगः चित्तवृत्तिनिरोधः तदा द्रष्टुः स्वरूपे अवस्थानं वृत्तिसारूप्यम् इतरत्र वृत्तयः पञ्चतयः क्लिष्टाः प्रमाण विपर्यय विकल्प नेत्र स्मृतयः प्रत्यक्ष अनुमान आगमाः प्रमाणानि विपर्ययो मिथ्याज्ञानम् अतद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम् शब्द ज्ञानानुपाति वस्तुशून्यो विकल्पः अभाव प्रत्ययालम्बना तमो वृत्तिर्नेत्रा अनुभूतविषय असम्प्रमोषः स्मृतिः. Should I chant till 17?
You are on mute, Mama.
Yeah, go ahead and chant until 17.
Yeah.
Kranti. Yeah.
ॐ अभ्यासवैराग्याभ्यां तन्निरोधः तत्र स्थितौ यत्नोऽभ्यासः स तु दीर्घकाल नैरन्तर्य सत्कार आदरा आसेवितो दृढभूमिः द्रष्टानुश्रविक विषयवितृष्णस्य वशीकारसंज्ञा वैराग्यं तत्परं पुरुषख्यातेः गुणवैतृष्ण्यं वितर्क विचार आनन्द अस्मितारूप अनुगमात् सम्प्रज्ञातः.
Thank you, Kranti. Thank you very much. So let's quickly review all the sutras that we have covered so far. So we started with the first four sutras we said is the executive summary, where Patanjali Muni is quickly giving an overview of all the four padas, right? And he says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. That is, to be in a state of yoga means not to be affected by the activations of the Chitta. Chitta Vritti Nirodha, the control and stilling of the Chitta Vrittis. That is what is yoga. And he's also saying when you are not in that state, then you identify yourself with all the activations. That's where we are. So then we are asking the question, okay, we are not in the state of yoga, what can we do? So then he describes the rest of the 191 sutras are about how we can get out of this state. So initially, the next set is actually describing Vrittayah, Panchatayah, Klishtaha, Aklishtaha. He says these Chitta Vrittis are of 5 types. I mean, major 5 types. And he is explaining what those 5 types. And then he says Klishtaha, Aklishtaha. They can be painful or they may not be painful. And then he describes what those 5 types are. We saw them. We say the 5 types is describing them as, let me scroll this up so that we can all see, so that I don't have to do a okay. So pramana, we saw pramana is all evidence based. Viparyaya is misconception. Vikalpa is delusion. Nidra is sleep. And then smriti, which is memories. So we saw all that, and then he is giving definition for each one of them. So we have seen all that. And following that, we are asking, okay, we have all this, and then how do we get over this? And that is how he's describing Abhya in Sutra number 12 is saying Abhyasa Vairagyabhyam Tat Nirodha. So Tat Nirodha, that gets controlled, that gets stilled. What gets stilled? The Chitta Vrittis get stilled. How do they get stilled? By Abhyasa. That Abhyasa, how you do? With a sense of detachment. Vairagya Abhyam means with a sense of detachment, not being attached. In Tamil, we say Ishigirdu. Priya, you understand that, right? Ishigirdu. Getting attached to everything, getting stuck with things. You know, not able to separate yourself from those, all these worldly things. So, being with a sense of detachment, that is how we are with all the activations. We are stuck with them like a paste. So, to be able to detach ourselves, having a sense of detachment. Then he goes on to say that tatra stitav yatanaha abhyasa. So he says here, abhyasa, the practice with effort and stitav means being established, being still. So when you do this, when you stay in that state, what is that state? The state of being unattached with all the vrittis. When you stay in that state and with effort, you have to obviously put effort. What is that effort? It's not physical effort. It is being continuously aware. Some of you have been asking questions over the week. How to do this? What did you do? How do we do this? So having that awareness, that is that effort that you put. So that is what he is saying as abhyasa. Having that, being in that state and putting in that effort to be watchful is what is abhyasa. Then he goes on to say, if you do this abhyasa, satu means when you do that, when you do this abhyasa, when you do this practice for a long period of time, dirgha kala, nairantarya, without interruption, uninterrupted, satkara sevita, with a good intention, well-intentioned doing, well-intentioned performance. When you do that when you have all this, that is dirgha kala, without nairantarya, without interruption, and satkara sevya, well-intentioned, not with the intention of, yo, I have to do this. No, with love, you do it. Then what happens? This practice becomes firmly established. Drita bhumihi. Bhumihi means earth, nicely established. So drita means firmly established. Then it becomes firmly established. Then it won't be a chore. It will be part of you. Morning, automatically your body will wake up at 5 or 5:30 or 4:30, whatever you want to wake up. It will automatically wake up. It will automatically want to get up. In our house, this is the practice. From very young age, we were never allowed to sleep beyond 6 o'clock. We could never sleep. So that practice set in, and only over the years, we have been waking up earlier and earlier. That's all. So over a period of time, this practice gets firmly established. And also, drishta anushravika vishaya vitrishnasya. So then we saw that the subject matter is watching this, right? Watching the chitta vrittis, the vrittis. So when you become unattracted by all that, what is going on, trishnasya vitrishnasya, that is, there is no thirst for you to, normally what happens, whatever you look at, you want to see that and enjoy that. Whatever you hear, you want to know everything about that. When you are no longer in that state, whatever you see, you don't want to buy. Whatever you hear, you don't want to hear that more about that gossip. When you get out of that, that is what he is talking about here. So then you are in a state of samya vairagyam. Samya vairagyam. Samya means that awareness, being in that awareness. So when you are in that awareness, tat param purusha kyatehi guna vaitrishnyam. So vaitrishnyam means unaffected. So then the guna, I mean, you have to take it as a, see, all these chittas, all these chittavrittis are going to make energy flow, and the energy flow is of three kinds, which we will see later. I just briefly said it is just rajas, tamo, or sattva guna, the three. Whatever is flowing through you, none of it affects you. That's what it means. So this is what we covered, and then we are finished with 117. So when you are in that kind of a state, tat param purusha. Tat param purusha means we said for now let us think of it as the soul, the higher entity of us. Okay, so the higher, when we are in that when we are able to associate with a higher entity, then what happens? We can go to the next level of vitarka vichara ananda asmita anugamat samprajnatah. Vitarka means questioning, vichara, contemplating on that. Ananda is letting go. You have this question, you contemplate on it, and then you let go. Asmita is the ability to experience. So when the answer comes, you have to be able to experience. So that is the ability to experience. This is what has been given to us. This asmita has been given to all of us. This is not this where here we are referring to all the higher dimensional experiences. So anugamat, from all this, anugamat means flows. From what all these four things flows, samprajnataka, flows the state of samprajnataka. Samyak samprajnataka means samyak prajnataka. Prajna means intuitive awareness. So in this state, you are fully connected to the this is the higher, we are talking about a very high state of samadhi, where the intuitive awareness is coming because of the connectivity to the divine, because you are vitarka vichara, you are placing questions about existence, etc., and the answers are coming to you. With me, everyone? Okay. So we stopped there and we said Sutra 117 ends the summary of all the four chapters to put together. That is the Sutra number 117 is where it ends, the summary, the full summary of all the four chapters. And then in Sutra 18, 19, and 20, he is describing some of the states that you can get before you get to Samprajnata state. So that's where we are going to start today. So I'm going to ask Kranti to chant again 117 through 120. So now close your eyes and listen to it. Go ahead, Kranti.
vitarka vichara ananda asmitarupa anugamat samprajnatah virama pratyaya abhyasapurvah samskara sheshah anyah bhava pratyayo videha prakritilayanam shraddha virya smriti samadhi prajna purvaka itaresham.
Okay. So any questions on 17, up to 17, any questions? You're able to understand, right? Fully understood up to 17? Okay. Let's move on to 18. Virama pratyaya abhyasa purvaha sanskara seshah. So together we have to read the sanskara seshah Anyah. Very interesting sutra. This word Seshah is quite popular among Brahmins, at least in Tamil Nadu, I know. Can one of the Brahmins here tell me what is Seshah? Seshah.
Remaining, whatever remains of.
Now, normally in our parlance, I'm not talking about what Sutra is saying. What in our parlance?
Sheshaha means what remains.
No, that is from the Sutra. I'm saying in our house, how do we use the Seshah? We say Sesham.
Sesham means baki
Acharam.
ஆச்சாரமா இருக்கிறது ஆச்சார இது பாக்கி இருக்கிறதான சொல்லுவா அதுதான் சேஷம் சொல்லுவா.
What is Sesham?
பாக்கி இருக்கிறது.
Not supposing you leave a little bit of sambar that was made yesterday. Is it called Sesham?
ஆமா.
Opposite of Acharam.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, but we don't call that a Sesham. Only we use that Sesham only on special days.
சேஷம் the ceremony la இருக்கிற அன்னைக்கு.
Only on.
When there is a ceremony.
Yes. What ceremony? What ceremony?
Ceremony for Pitru
Shraddham. That is the only time we say Sesham. On other days, we don't use that word Sesham. Correct? I haven't heard that word being used. The Sesham on other days. Correct? Yes or no? Yes.
Right.
So, we have wrongly understood that Sesham means leftover food when a Shraddham is done. Supposing Shraddham was done yesterday and there was some leftover food. Then people at home will say, whatever that leftover food is called as Sesham. Sesham means actually leftover. Okay, that's what it means. But the way it is portrayed is as if that is poison. If you touch, something will stick to you. Some big sin will happen if you even touch it. Forget about eating. So this is avidya. Please understand this very clearly. Sesham means just leftover food, just like any other day. On that day also, on the days you do Shraddha also, whatever is leftover is Sesham. Understand this very clearly. So there is nothing special about that. Or it is not a poison. It is not something that you should not see, you should not touch. Nothing like that. You may not want to eat leftover food, just like how when people grow up, they stop eating leftover food, right? So it is like that. Anyway, Seshah, Samskara Seshah. I'm going to the end of that sutra. Samskara Seshah.
Kumarji.
Yes.
Since raised that topic, so that day's food you're not supposed to. Rest of the days you're okay to consider or consume it. Why that had that misconception? You said like, yeah, that's wrong. What is right then?
No. What I'm saying is, Seshah is everyday leftover food.
Right.
Whatever is leftover is Seshah.
Seshah. Right.
Right. Only on the day of ceremony, the next day, they will call that a Seshah, because somebody used that word Seshah for that food, and then it was carried on.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Got it. But otherwise, Shesha has got its regular technical meaning. Even in math also, Shesha means like that's a
remainder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay. Sanskara Seshah means leftover of samskara. That's all it means.
Okay.
So that is why I'm coming there. So now we have understood what is leftover. Samskara Seshah means leftover of samskara. What is samskara? Samskara is, yes, people who attended the class earlier. What is samskara? Vishwa, Prabhakar, Gandhi, Sundar.
All the impressions from past lives.
Yes. So all these impressions of past life, which are mainly the karma and kleshas. The karma and kleshas are the impressions of the past lives, right? So it is talking about the leftovers of the past lives. So by regular practice, that's what he's saying. We'll go. Anyaha means different. That's what anyaha means. So what we are saying here in Sutra 18 is prati means we'll go to the front part. Virama is to end. Virama is to end. Prati is what is in front. So pratyaya is reacting to what is in front. So reacting to things driven, we are normally driven by things which are in front of us. We react to that because of the activations. So when that ends, when all those beliefs, convictions, all those things reacting to whatever is there in the front, all that ends. When all reactivity has ended, sanskara programs. So all this reactivity, all these activations has ended. So what is remaining? What is remaining is only the klesha karmas. So he is saying when only that is there, the purvaha means past, before. So sanskara seshaha, purvaha sansara seshaha. So all these things are the past leftovers. To be in that state where all the activity in the front, everything has ended, but you still have all these program entities that are still there, and the samskaras are still there. The samskara is again a program entity, right? So those alone are still there. The activations have ended. That part of the program entity has ended. That has become dormant. That has become still. But we still have the samskara seshaha. To be in that state is another one. To anyaha. It is another state. With me?
Yes.
Okay, this is not samprajnataha state. This is another state. Okay. In samprajnataha state, everything has ended. Even the karma kleshas have been, or karmas have been wiped out, and the kleshas are also going away. Because every time you are placing a question and getting an answer, your atma vidya is increasing, and your kleshas are going away. So this is so if you look at it logically, 18 will occur to you before you get to the samprajnataka state, correct?
In this sutra, what does abhyasa mean?
Abhyasa means regular practice.
Regular practice of?
Of looking at the activations. By looking at the by the regular practice of looking at the activations, all those things have ended. Okay, all that's become past. All those past things have ended. All those things have ended. What is remaining? Seshaha, what is remaining? Only the samskaras are remaining. The karma kleshas are remaining. So, and he's saying anyaha. So this is another state. With me? Shall we move on?
I have one question.
Yeah.
With regular practice of looking at the activations, you said that reacting to what is in it will end the
reactions, correct?
Reactions, and what is remaining is the impressions of the past lives that are karmas and kleshas.
Yes.
So kleshas are the impurities, right?
Correct. We have not come to that yet. We have not We have not listed what are the impurities yet. You will see that in chapter 2. In the first few
Okay.
sutras, we will see that. Yes.
I'm not clear with this. Like, we have only karmas and kleshas, right? What do we have other than that?
We have these
Like-
activations.
Okay.
Okay. You have to find
Chitta
village,
vrittis. Chitta vrittis are the activations.
Okay.
So we have with regular practice, dirgha kala, nairantariya, all that we said, right? Without interruption, with satkara sevito, with good intention. When we do all this with good intention, then we can still it. Correct?
Okay. Right.
For long period of dirgha kala. So when we